Hello, goalies. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds here, but what I am going to do today is review the Oneiric base layer. And so, yes, Jeremy, you are first, as usual. But I am really excited about this today. Of course, now I've already lost it. Where did I even put it? There it is. It's back there. So let me grab it, actually, first. And then while you guys are coming here, today, like I said, we are actually reviewing a base layer. So that's a little bit different than we're used to. So let me grab it really quick. You can actually see it like right over there. There it is. All right. That's better. All right, cool. So there we go. Of course, I think that's the back of the pant. Might look a little bit better on the front. There we go. Oneiric is how you say that, apparently. And yeah, so I see some people who are like, what is it? Well, it's a base layer. And so what you do is you wear it as your base. Let's say, for example, you probably wear some underwear, right? And then you wear a base layer over that. And then you put your cup over that, your goalie cup, and then the rest of your gear. So that's what we're going to be reviewing today. And it sounds a little funny, right? Like you guys are used to me reviewing like big things that are up there, but I'm really excited to review this one for you guys live here because oddly enough, I think there's probably a lot of variation in the kind of base layers that we wear. There are some really cool benefits to the Oneiric version. So what I want to do is show you guys basically, you know, everything about the Genesis base layer that is specifically made for goalies. So that's even better, and go from there. So as usual, since today I'm going to be reviewing a product. I am just going to take questions about the product itself, and you guys are welcome to ask any questions whatsoever about the product. Ask me what I don't like, what I do like, what concerns I have. I'm perfectly fine with that, and then we'll go from there. But if you have questions about other gear, stuff like that, do that on the other videos, and I'll be happy to answer your questions there. But otherwise, we'll just look at the Oneiric Genesis base layer today. So, yes, this is kind of like Under Armour compression stuff, but actually, in my opinion, it's way better. I actually wear, occasionally, and depending on for what sport, some top base layers that are Under Armour or some other brands like Reebok or CCM, stuff like that, Warrior. But for your pant base layer, I actually used to go with, I actually have it right here, so let me kind of show you guys. I used to go with this basically bicycle pant style or short style base layer, and I would take the cup out because I don't wear a cup that is underneath my goalie cup. But the main reason why I wore these, first of all, I like a tight fit, so I like the stretchy material, the tighter fit. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. But the most important thing to me, honestly, are these sock connection points, because otherwise I have nothing to connect it with, and I'm not a huge fan of wearing a garter belt. So I always thought that was kind of weird, and then half the time people were like looking for pennies and dimes and stuff. So anyway, I am no longer using those, and what I am using instead is called the Oneiric Genesis base layer. So this is specifically made for goalies. Of course, I turned it around again, so but kind of let me show you a few of the pretty cool points about it, and then if you guys have questions and stuff like that, just let me know. Yes, this does come with a cup. I actually got it with the cup and then took it out just simply because I don't use it. I think I tried it one time. It really doesn't matter. Some of you guys probably like a double cup system. I prefer just to wear my goalie cup, my Reebok Pro, over this, and it works out just fine. So, but you can get a cup inside of it, and in fact, I think you can kind of see that it attaches on the inside here. Right there. So that's where your cup goes. But it does connect on the inside and not the outside. So typically you'll see it connect on the outside on a lot of these, but this connects on the inside. It kind of keeps it a little more snug, which is fine for those of you guys who like to wear it that way. But yeah, this is a base layer. So just to kind of go over that, because I see we have a whole lot more viewers again. A base layer basically, if you wear underwear, typically it's going to go over your underwear and underneath your goalie jock. Something like that. There are some people I've actually known who wear it over their goalie jock too, and this definitely would accommodate that, especially since it is stretchy. I can kind of check out what materials it is really quick. I don't particularly care what materials they are, but it is 72% nylon, 14% spandex, and 14% polyester, and then it is moisture wicking and antibacterial. So I've actually noticed that in the past. It doesn't smell, and in fact, you would think that something that's like a full pant like this, and we're going to get to this in a second, but actually contains a little bit of padding, you would think that this would become pretty hot, and it really doesn't. So especially if you are a goalie who plays multiple games in a row, or if you play tournaments, or maybe you're a college goalie or high school goalie and you play multiple games in a weekend, this is definitely something you can kind of lay out, and you're perfectly fine. So a couple things here that I really like about this base layer. Well, first of all, this is the first pant base layer that I think I've ever worn, or at least probably in a long time. In college, I used to wear, what was it, like almost like a sweatpant style base layer. So that was a little hot back in college, and I don't think I did that in juniors, but I can't quite remember. But this is really the first time that I've kind of switched to the full pant instead of the short. So I had a couple concerns there, of course. The biggest of which would be that I'm going to be really hot, right? So and one of the first things I realized when I first put this on, I started using it in the game. It was a BHL game, and I'm kind of out there, and I'm like, okay, like this is a full pant. Like I can feel like the stretchiness. It's stretching in different areas that I'm used to. And I was like, in mid-game, I was like, I feel like I should be hotter than I am, but I'm really not. And over the course of the next few games, I don't even realize that I'm wearing a full pant style base layer anymore. So it is not hot whatsoever, despite the fact that there's actually padding inside this base layer. So again, kind of let me show you a couple of the things, and then I'll try to check. I'll check there for what kinds of questions you guys have right afterwards. So like I said, you can fit your own cup in here. So especially if you like, what is it? Of course, now I can't remember what it is. How can I not remember? I wear it. The nutshells one. If you want to wear your nutshells cup in here, you could certainly do that, or if you just want to wear whatever kind of cup, you can fit that in here afterwards. But one of the things I really love on this, just like I said, the whole reason I even wore a base layer previously was because of sock attachment points, and you can see they are here and they're in the back as well. So no longer, and they're actually pretty big too, so that's kind of nice. So it makes sure that your sock stays there all game, and as you can see here, it kind of takes a lot of effort to get them off. So you can kind of see there, I'll kind of get it close. You can see the Velcro, or I'm not really sure what they're calling it, if it's actual Velcro or not, but hook and loop enclosure, or whatever they call it. You can see it's actually reasonably large, so it keeps your sock up for the entire game. And that is on the back side. On the front side, you see it right here, same size, so it ends up working out really great. This works for both the cotton kind of sock and those new, I can't remember exactly what they're calling them, but basically it's the Reebok or CCM style sock. It works out really well too. It attaches to both of them perfectly fine. One of the cool things too, this right here is actually sort of like a sticky, sort of rubbery material, and it's really nice because it makes your knee guards stay in place. I know that a lot of you guys have, I mean, almost every single time I'm talking about knee guards, there's somebody who's like, how do you stop them from rotating, or how do you stop them from falling down? And this is one way to do it. So if you're wearing the Oneiric Genesis base layer, it actually has the sticky material, and you can see here, I'm like barely even pushing down. Like if I go like this over it, I slide, but once I get to that rubbery material, it's beautiful, it sticks to it. So you can certainly use this, and then that will help keep your knee guards up. Moving down the front, you see this anti-cut material. So you guys know I like to wear my 20K socks, Reebok 20K socks, to make sure that I'm not getting any slices, right? And this actually has it built into the pant. So this will actually go over basically the bottom part of your shin and your ankle, and then I like to put it a little bit over my skate, and that way you get really seamless protection from any you know, errant skates or blades or stuff like that. So it ends up working out really well, and you can kind of see it goes all the way through, so it's not something that's like topical, and it ends up working out great. So I love that part. Now here's kind of the very, very interesting part about the Genesis base layer, and the whole reason sort of it's for goalies. Yeah, you have the knee guard thing right here that keeps it up. Yeah, you have the anti-slice material, but you also have on the back here, so you guys can see, you have this padding, because we don't have a lot of padding on the back of our legs anymore, right? And especially in goalie pants, if you look on the back of your goalie pants, it's probably a very thin nylon material or something like that, so there's not a lot of padding anymore, basically trying to save weight, right? And then you also have a little bit behind your knees. You don't have any padding back there whatsoever. Your knee lock does not go to the back of your knee. And then on the back of your shin, or sorry, the back of your calf as well. And I can kind of show you maybe a little bit here how thick it is. And it's not that thick, and it kind of feels like it's sort of like a jelly-like material, but really I don't think there is a gel inside of it, but it's sort of a padding that has a nice little cushion to it. So it's not a really annoying padding, or it's not too thick, but it's just right to where when you go down in your butterfly you don't feel it, but you know that you're very well protected back there. And especially since we have so many you know, I think back in the day we had more open leg channels, but even now we're reducing our material so much there's no longer a whole lot of padding back there. Something like this makes a whole lot of sense, right? So I absolutely love these pants. One of the really cool things about it, and I think I kind of said this a little bit earlier, is that you really don't feel it when you're out there. And this was the first pant style base layer that I've ever worn, so I was worried about, you know, what's the feel going to be like? Is it going to be really warm? Am I going to be hot out there? Are my legs going to get tired? Because this is a compression style pant, so anytime you're, you know, kind of putting a little bit of effort to it, it's trying to pull back on you a little bit, and really you don't feel that whatsoever out there. I think the only time I ever felt anything whatsoever is that the groin portion kind of comes down quite a bit. It's kind of long, and I wear my goalie cup over this, and so I can kind of feel it sort of rebound off of this sometimes, but really I don't even feel that anymore. I think that was for like maybe 2 periods when I was out there that I actually felt that. So I have been really happy with the Oneiric Genesis base layer, and I would definitely recommend that anyone, if you're looking for a base layer, you're looking for an upgrade in your game, or especially, you know, if you are one of those goalies who you have knee guards that sort of slip or they rotate around, definitely try these, because it's an integrated approach, right? You not only have the really nice base layer that has a cup inside of it, or you can put a cup inside of it if you want, but then you also have the connection points, you have the padding on the back, and you have right there your knee guards. They will stay up. Plus, the best part, in my opinion, the anti-slice material. That's what I was looking forward to the most. That's actually really incredible. So I have been extremely happy with these pants. Let me take a look at some of your guys' questions, and then if you guys have more, definitely let me know. But today I'll just take questions on the Oneiric Genesis base layer, and we'll go from there. So, all right, what do we got? Let me take a quick look here. And let's see. Yeah, so I think one concern that's probably fair is that they do cost more than your typical base layer. And I don't want to say exactly how much it costs, but you can go to the Oneiric website. So that's and Oneiric is kind of a funny name, and a little bit difficult to say and a little bit difficult to spell. In fact, I'm pretty sure for like the last month or so, when I've been spelling it online, I've been spelling it wrong. I just realized it today that there's an additional I. So, but let me check the website really quick and see how much it is. But again, I'm not going to tell you exactly how much it is, but you'll have to go to their website. So their website, though, is oneiric.ca. So that's ONEIRIC.ca. And then you have to get the Genesis base layer. And of course, I'm a man, so so I click on that one, and then they have 5 sizes right now. So small, medium, large, XL, and then XXL for you bigger goalies out there. And then you have your choice of whether you want a cup or no cup. And it doesn't look like it actually changes the price for cup or no cup. So in my opinion, you're better off getting the cup and then going from there, right? Now, I will say that just to kind of give you a little sense of like the sizing and everything. So I ordered a large, and I am 5'11". on a good day, and I have a little bit shorter legs, especially in the thigh area. So funny enough, these would definitely fit someone perfectly if they were like 6 foot and and for a large. Now, because I have shorter legs and I'm just 5'11" on a good day, sometimes the knee guard area can be a little bit high on me when it should be a little bit lower. But that's okay, because honestly my knee guards, they don't slip or rotate or anything anyway. So it actually ends up in a pretty good point for those, because it ends up a little bit higher than on the knee, and so it still keeps my knee guards in place just in case they did even try to rotate, but they typically don't. So that wasn't a concern of mine. You'll definitely have to check out their size chart, because for the large, let's see, large 12 to 14, and yeah, oh wait, that's the U size. Let me go down to adult. So large, 34 to 36 waist, so that's pretty typical for a large size. And then for the inseam is like 32 inches. I'm going to guess that my inseam is probably closer to a 31 or like a medium size, but my waist is definitely not a medium size. But it is elastic, so I could probably get away with it. But nonetheless, I'm very happy with my large. The other thing too is that if you are like somewhere around 6 foot or something like that, and this is actually kind of on purpose that I've seen in almost all their pictures, that this ends up sort of like mushrooming out, and there's actually a term for it, and I can't remember what it is, like blousing, I guess would probably be it. But it kind of blouses out a little bit, so it ends up that it's not like a very taut material at the bottom. So what I like to do, because it kind of rolls up a little bit, is actually extend it over my skates, and that way I get that seamless protection from all the way from my skate up through the top part of my my calf. So it ends up working out pretty well for me. But for you guys who are maybe a little bit shorter or a little bit taller, you might want to look at other sizes just to make sure that it's going to fit your legs perfectly, and that way you get that same level of protection. So let's see what other kinds of questions you have. Oh yeah, but to that point, that it's definitely more expensive than your typical base layer, but still it's a premium base layer. So when I'm looking at it, and you know, your typical base layer, I don't know what prices look like nowadays, but you know, they might have integrated cup. It probably won't even come with a cup, but it probably has an area for a cup, and then it's just stretchy material, and that's it, right? But this one has the integrated cup that it comes with, and then you also have the sock connection points, not only on one side but two sides, and that's a necessity for me because I've had base layers with just one side, and it drives me nuts that the back of my socks, like, you can start feeling that breeze on the back of your legs, right? Like mid-game, and you're like, oh, are my socks falling down? But no, this one, that is never going to happen because you have the attachment points on both sides of your legs. And then you have, you know, that portion for your knee guards, plus the anti-slice, plus the protection of the padding that's on the back, not only of the basically the back side of your thigh or your hamstring, but also the back of your knee, and then also the back of your calf. So it ends up working out really well. So when I'm really thinking about price and stuff like that, I'm thinking about, you know, what kind of value am I getting, and is this a premium product? And this definitely is. And one thing too that I probably want to talk about, because I know there's a lot of you guys who are going to be thinking about durability, right? And I've probably used these, I think, somewhere around, if I had to guess, somewhere around 25 or 30 times. And so I've had those base layers where they start to fray and they start to get holes, you know, basically within 5-10 uses and stuff like that. And so before I started taping, I was kind of looking over to see if there were any holes or any rips or anything like that. And the only thing I can see as far as durability goes is that I know that my jock has some Velcro attachment points at the top. So you can kind of see like a little bit of like material fraying right here, but it's not going to create a hole or anything. And then you actually see the same thing down next to the Velcro attachment points. So if I do this here, you can probably see just a little bit of, it's not really even fraying. I'm not really sure what the right term for that would be, but just like a little disruption in the material. And that's probably mostly because when I'm washing these, I haven't been that careful in making sure that this has been up. So if this ends up going over, then it kind of catches on that material, and then you can see that's what's creating that those little frays there. So, but again, there's no holes there whatsoever. It's just sort of little fraying materials. And then as I go down, and I can take a quick look at it right now while I'm live with you guys. about whether there's any holes or any tears or rips, and I couldn't find any before, and I can't imagine I'm going to find any now either. But yeah, so when I'm looking for, like I said, when I'm looking for a base layer like this, I'm looking for, durability, and am I getting my money's worth, especially if it's a premium product and it costs a little more than your typical products. And I'm not seeing any portion on here whatsoever of holes or anything. And it looks like there's just a little more fraying in the back, just because of where there's some little Velcro portions in my my pants that end up making those. But again, no holes or tears, so I'm very happy with that. Now, I will say that I have not been hit in the back of the calf, or the back of the knee, or the back of the thigh since getting these. So I can't talk about whether, the padding is, going to not allow you a bruise or anything like that. I'm going to guess if you get hit with a puck somewhere, you're probably going to have a bruise. But it's probably going to hurt a whole heck of a lot less than it would if you had no padding back there. So I kind of like that extra protection back there just in case. All right, let's see what else we got here. And then the other thing too is I do wash these regularly with my other stuff. And let me see what. Yeah, I'm a typical guy. Like, I just wash everything with everything else, so it's like whatever. But machine wash cold, line dry, do not iron, do not dry clean. So it says line dry, so that might be one thing, and that's one thing that that Chris said in chat here was don't put them in the dryer. So maybe I shouldn't put it in the dryer. I don't know. I always do. And but if you really want to, stick it in the washer, wash it, and then just line dry it. Basically, just hang it up and let it dry that way. But it ends up working out really well. And actually, that probably works out well for a lot of you guys, tournament guys who are out there playing. You can just, if you guys are hockey players and you're tournament players, then you probably know you end up in a hotel room, back that night with all of your gear on a banister somewhere, or hopefully not over the shower, but we've definitely done that. It ends up stinking out the room pretty well, but have done that as well, and you could certainly do that with these. So yeah. I don't see any other questions, but if you guys do have any more questions whatsoever, definitely let me know. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Ask your questions below. You are welcome to message me on Facebook or Instagram. I'm going to put up something on Instagram about these as well, and then go from there. But I've really loved using these. In fact, it was kind of funny before this. I wanted to show you guys what I was using before, and then compare it to what I was using now. So those were those Bauer compression shorts that you guys saw. It actually took me like 15 minutes to even find them, because I've been using these religiously for the past few months or so. Not only to make sure that I was giving you guys a really good review of these, but also because I just really love them. So I just kind of threw the other ones in some bin somewhere, and went from there. So yeah, anyway, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And again, as always, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, post them below, and I'll get back to them, usually within a few hours to a few days. So hope you guys have a wonderful time, and good luck. I'll see you out on the ice.